Cobra Kai has come to an end. We had 6 seasons, so what was the best? Let's find out. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be ranking all 6 seasons of Cobra Kai, but not as you might think. Normally, I would do a straight up 1 through 6 ranking, and I'm kind of doing that in a sense, but I have a tier list made for this. You'll have to see what I mean in a second. I'll explain everything, don't worry. Before I get into this, though, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below your ranking of all 6 Cobra Kai seasons, and of course, subscribe and hit that notification bell to help me reach my goal of 150,000 subscribers here on the channel. It would mean a lot. So I'm going to dive into a tier list. I'll explain as we go. So as you guys can see here, I've got a tier list with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And at the bottom, I have the posters for every season of Cobra Kai in chronological order. So I'm just going to go from season 1 to season 6 and place them in the tier that I believe they would place in my actual ranking. So it is basically a straight up ranking. I'm just going in order of season as opposed to from 6 to 1. And I'm throwing it in a tier list because it feels fresh for me, frankly. I didn't want to do something I've done already too much. I've already done, a character ranking twice, after season 5, after season 6. I did a season ranking after I watched season 5 back in the day, so I'm like, you know what? Let's do a final season ranking, but we'll do it my way, all right? So let's just go ahead and start this thing. Again, drop your ranking of the seasons down below. I will start with season 1, maybe the coolest poster. A poster ranking would be like a fun short, I just realized. But for season 1, I'm gonna say this is as simple as it gets for Cobra Kai. It's essentially a remake of the original Karate Kid. You've got Johnny with Miguel. Johnny sort of in the Miyagi role that we see in the original Karate Kid, and Miguel sort of in the Daniel role that we see in the original Karate Kid. This season hooked me in. It's the one that made me buy into Cobra Kai. Like, by that mid-season finale, I was like, all right, I'm in. I'm on board with Cobra Kai. And then obviously it culminates with the All Valley where we see Miguel fight Robbie. Cobra Kai ends up winning that and kind of putting them on the map again. So this season has a lot of great moments, a lot of callbacks to the original Karate Kid. Like I said, this season kind of parallels directly the main plot of Karate Kid. So it's something we've seen before. It's just like a fresh retelling of that. The show would develop into its own thing in later seasons. So this is basically just this show's version of the Karate Kid with Johnny and Miguel, like I said. I quite like it. I don't think there's a bad season of Cobra Kai. So whatever even ends up in that 6th spot, I still like quite a bit. I'm just going to place, out of personal preference, this season in the 5 tier. Again, very good television. It got me hooked into the world of Cobra Kai, but the show becomes its own thing. It develops its own identity as it progresses, and so I respect that more as opposed to just this, which plays it safe, which there's nothing wrong with. Next, we've got season 2 of Cobra Kai, which is like the summer fun season. We've got Robbie and Sam having a bit of a fling here. You got Tori and Miguel, same thing, kind of having a fling here. There's some romantic rivalry, young love is in the air, and everything culminates with that school brawl, which is one of the best episodes of the show. Season 2 up 10. Absolute madness, all the chaos is there, and basically it's just the culmination of this beef, this tension, this drama between everyone overflowing into this all-out brawl at the school. I'm going to put Cobra Kai Season 2 in that 6th slot again. No shade thrown there. I dig the season quite a bit. It's just that one I revisit the least, and I feel like out of all the main plots, it might have the least consequential when I look back at it. It is a slower moving season, no shot to it. In fact, I rewatched season 1 and 2 in one day one time, so 20 episodes in a day. That shows you I like the show quite a bit, and I don't think either season is bad. Again, as we get further down the line, though, the plot thickens, and I'm a little more invested. So season 1 and 2, very good, simpler Cobra Kai, and I'm aware that a lot of fans of the show prefer the early seasons because of the simplicity, but to me, I like when we get a little more outlandish and ridiculous to a certain extent. Moving on, though, we've got season 3. This is where things really heat up for me. I remember my reaction to the season 3 finale. I was on my feet when, the final fight with, like, Johnny barging into Cobra Kai, seeing Kreese is running the show, and then Daniel pulls up, and he's like, "You wanted a fight, you son of a now you got one." I was hyped. We also get the brawl at the LaRusso house here where, like, Carol of the Cobras, I want to say, is the score that's playing. It's like this Christmas showdown. This season also takes us to Okinawa. We get a really emotional episode where Daniel's with Kumiko and he's reading this letter from Miyagi. Like, so much emotion is in this season. Shozen makes a return. Ali Mills makes a return. You got, again, Kumiko. So a lot of characters from that original Karate Kid trilogy are in this season, and it's really the best to date if we're looking at it, season 1, season 2, season 3. To me, I take season 3 over those two. This season, for a while there, I believe was my favorite. Like the last ranking I did back, and I want to say that was 2023, I had this at number 1 if I recall correctly. Let me know down below if you remember, if you've been around that long here on the channel. But I'm going to say as of right now, season 3 is my runner-up. I'm going to put that at number 2. Right here, this season again has it all. The callbacks, the character returns, the epic action, the score is there. Some of the fights are very memorable, and it really builds up to set up season 4 for a high stakes All Valley. We'll get into that here in a second, but season 3 rules, and I really had it as my number 1 for the longest time until it got dethroned by one of these 3 seasons I'm about to talk about. But next on the list, we've got season 4, maybe the coolest poster. I'd have to do a straight up ranking of those maybe. If you guys would be interested in seeing that, I could probably do it as like a TikTok or a short. But when it comes to season 4 of Cobra Kai, we've got the All Valley, the second All Valley in the show, and by far the one with the most stakes. I am fully bought into Cobra Kai as a show at this point, and so this season, everything's on the line. I mean, the drama's there. Terry Silver's back in full force, and every single character you can feel for, you can side with, the conflict is there, and again, you can sort of resonate emotionally with everyone. So when we get to the tournament, the final 2 episodes with the All Valley, you're fully bought in, but also you can feel yourself conflicted and turning like, who do I want to root for here? Like you've got Robbie's storyline and his fight with Hawk, maybe the best fight in the show. The whole Sam versus Tori storyline. They duke it out on the mat. Obviously, Tori wins. The fight was rigged, so Sam technically should have won the fight, but still, all such great stuff. And the mid-season finale even, we see Johnny and Daniel fight. They have a rematch. So there's so much greatness in this season. Again, I feel as though with Cobra Kai, the show gets more rewarding the further we progress because we see character relations develop so far from where they began. Here, we're starting to see, the redemption for certain characters. Hawk, obviously, his redemption comes full circle as he wins the All Valley. But man, this is where it's at. Season 4 might have been like the prime of Cobra Kai in retrospect. And I've really been kind of sitting on this as season 6 came to a close, so there's no more new seasons. I'm like, which season flows together the best? Has the most emotional stakes? Am I the most invested in? Balances out the fights with the real dramatic character moments, but also progresses the plot and has awesome character arcs. And I look to season 4, and because of that, I am putting Cobra Kai season 4 in the number 1 slot for me. It has everything. I think it's a perfect season of Cobra Kai. It's one that I would watch right now. The mid-season finale, again, epic, but it all culminates with the All Valley, which to me, if we're ranking Cobra Kai tournaments, just got another idea, the season 4 All Valley probably has to be number 1 for me because the Robbie vs. Hawk fight paired with the Sam v. Tori fight, match made in heaven. Lots of drama there, but this is just Cobra Kai at its best. There's bad blood. It's got everything. The humor, everything. I could go on and on. Cobra Kai season 4, you rock. That leaves us with 2 seasons, season 5 and season 6. And because we're going in release order, next up we've got Cobra Kai season 5. I had this almost at my number 1 spot for a while there after watching it. I know this is sort of where a lot of longtime fans of the show checked out. They were like, oh, it's getting too ridiculous for me, I'm done. So people just waved the white flag and didn't get through season 5. To each their own, but this is the season where Cobra Kai really embraced the cheesiness. It had always been cheesy, but it kind of goes next level over the top here as Terry Silver is almost like a mob boss in this season. Has just this control over Cobra Kai like it's a mob presence in New York, like the Godfather or something. But I love it. I eat it all up. Mike Barnes makes a return in this season. There's a lot of fun character moments outside of like a karate or tournament setting. For example, in like near the end of the season, we see our characters going to the club and like dancing, and they end up having this big showdown with Terry Silver poolside. Like I'm notably thinking of Chosen v. Terry Silver. What a great epic fight that is. No karate tournament, so we're not building up to that. But in a sense, it kind of functions as the end of Cobra Kai. Like when this season came to a close, I was of the opinion that it could have ended the season. Had they added maybe 20 more minutes at the time when I watched it, I was like, this could serve as the end of Cobra Kai. Everyone's in a great place, right? Cobra Kai seemingly no more. Terry Silver's locked up. Kreese is in prison, but he ends up being the only loose end as he does a little prison break at the end. But regardless, every character relationship's happy. You got Tori and Robbie are in a good spot. Sam and Miguel have a sweet little reunion moment. Chosen lives. Like everyone ended in a good spot, and I was like, what is there really left to do? We've handled everything in the Valley. Obviously, they ended up going the Sekai Taikai route in Season 6, but at the time, I thought Season 5 could have served as the ending. So I look back fondly on my time with Season 5. There's just lots of fist pump moments, but I go back to the point I always make about how rewarding this show is as a viewer, seeing character relationships come so far, and to me, this is really a season that highlights that. We got Miguel and Robbie beefing a little bit early on, but they have a fight about midway through this season at the apartment, so it's not even like an official sanctioned match or anything like that, and they just duke it out, and in that moment, they realize it's not worth it to go through this hell again, and they put their differences aside, and that's really what propels them to becoming brothers in the end. Very sweet moment. Finally seeing them sort of put aside their differences, great. The same can be said for Sam and Tori here. By the end of this season, they're starting to work together a little bit more, and you can see there's going to be payoff for that in Season 6. So this is really the season where conflict between the characters who've been beefing for all the seasons kind of dissipates. They almost are all friends, or at least in an alliance with each other by the end, which is important as we go into Season 6 because there's greater threat with the Iron Dragons and other dojos. But Season 5, epic as hell. There's the awesome fight between Daniel and Terry Silver at the end, but then you just got moments where like shows and goes and solos, like a bunch of other potential senseis. It's great stuff. I'm going to put Season 5 at the 3 slot for me right now. Very good Cobra Kai, and that leaves one season, that season being Cobra Kai Season 6, the final season, which I'm going to go ahead and put at the number 4 slot. I want to make it known that I think this season knocked it out of the park with sticking the landing. It was broken up into 3 different parts. So having seen the entire season, 15 episodes, I gotta break it all down. For starters, I was extremely hyped in multiple moments. The fights were there, the emotions were high. I want to talk about the final 5 episodes after I make this point. Everything in this season wasn't the most necessary. The Sekai Taikai, all that, it wasn't something that ever needed to happen again. I believe Season 5 could have ended the show, but of course I'm not going to turn down more karate, okay? This season does have some of my least favorite plot points, with the Master Kim storyline being the most outlandish, hard to believe. Like, I feel like any real believability with Cobra Kai, which was already kind of skating on thin ice with most of the show, goes fully out the window in this season. There's just a lot of nonsensical moments, especially when we're in Barcelona in the middle part with Daniel getting intertwined with this like mob plot in a sense. Like, Terry Silver goes full mob boss here again. But we do get those final 5 episodes that just knock it out of the park. They land the plane wonderfully. You know, we get to see Johnny and Carmen in a happy spot. They get married. They have their kid. Every character relationship, I mean, I love it. They knocked it out of the park. The Binary Bros are together. Tori and Robbie are touring as karate champs, pretty much. You got Sam and Miguel happy for now, but they might have one last ride off into the sunset moment where they're in Okinawa for a bit. Daniel and Johnny working together as sensei, so everyone has a happy ending. And Johnny gets to redeem Cobra Kai the right way. The image had been tainted over the years. He brought back Cobra Kai, got tarnished again by Kreese and Silver, and now he says, hey, this is the real Cobra Kai, it's my dojo. He goes out on a high note. So everyone has a picture-perfect ending, in my opinion. I do believe that this season would have benefited if everything just dropped all at once. I'm grateful that we still got it when we got it, because waiting until whenever they could have dropped all the episodes at once might have been a little brutal, but still. The Sekai Taikai in the middle part, still very, very cool, and that brawl with EUNJANGDO killing Kwon, insanity. Like, that episode, that moment, very cool. But I do look back at the season as a whole, and the first part, it's fine. You know, it's fine. It's middle-of-the-road Cobra Kai. A lot of the build-up to the Sekai Taikai, middle-of-the-road Cobra Kai. The final 5 episodes, outstanding. More than half of the episodes are in that middle tier with episodes like from Season 5, from Season 2, from Season 1. It all comes together to make for one hell of an ending, but it isn't a case where, like, this season, every episode just blows out of the water. Season 4, Season 3, Season 5. I don't feel that way. But I do feel strongly that they nailed that ending. The final 5 episodes are by far the best, and if I go back to rewatch specific episodes from Cobra Kai Season 6, it'll almost always be, not even the final 5, just the final 3, really. Because even those first 2 from Part 3, a bit slow-moving, if we're being honest here. So they nailed it with, like, the final Sekai Taikai in the Valley. Every character arc came full circle, and they really crushed it with the writing, the love and care, the attention to detail, all that. The creators are real fans of Cobra Kai themselves, and that shines through here, so I'm very pleased with the ending. It isn't just a case where I think every season is better. That's one of the unique things about Cobra Kai. Like, every season is really good. It's just, which one do I prefer more than the other? And in this moment, I have Season 6 at the 4 slot. It could go up, it could go down, but those final 3 episodes carry so much weight. You know, they stuck the landing well, but I haven't gone back and watched season 6, you know, all 15 episodes over the course of a day or two. That'll be the real tell as to how I would rank season 4, because being able to see it flow together all in one go, the binge model, the way I believe the show is meant to be viewed, could completely alter my view on where it lands. But for now, I have it at the 4 slot. But that does it for my ranking of all 6 seasons of Cobra Kai. Let me know yours in the comments down below and hit that like button. Let me know if you liked this tier style ranking. I had fun with it. It felt fresh. Sometimes you just need to switch things up a little, and this felt original, fresh to me, so I dug it. Hopefully you guys did as well. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. Again, comment your ranking of the seasons down below. Stay tuned for more videos coming very soon, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.